Hello everyone. So today we'll be studying trigonometry. Trigonometry, some of you may have heard about it, some of you may haven't, right? So trigonometry is made up of three words: tri, gon and metron. That is, tri means three, gon means side and metron means measurement. It is the branch of mathematics that studies the relationships between the sides and angles of any right angle triangle. Okay, this sounds a bit confusing, but what are its practical application? I'll give an interesting story about it. You know Osama bin Laden, right? Obviously everyone knows about Osama bin Laden. He was one of the biggest terrorists ever lived, right? So Osama bin Laden, American government was looking for him for a very long time. So what they happened, they had a doubt that there is some guy living in Pakistan who looks like Osama bin Laden, but they can't confirm it, right? They need to either go directly visit him and ask him, "Are you Osama bin Laden?" or they can finalize him on his physical appearances. So for physical appearances, what they did once, they used a drone. Okay, the drone was flying above his head. It captured some of his photos, and with that they are trying to guess his height. Now the problem is, if the drone is on top of his head, how can you guess his height, right? It's a bit problematic. So what they did, when, let's say, if this is Osama bin Laden, he's standing like this, and the sun casted a shadow of his on the ground, right? So there is his shadow, right? So from this shadow, by using a mathematical technique, they found out his exact height, and that's how they confirmed that, oh yes, this is Osama bin Laden, right? So yeah, so what is this technique called? So this is basically the trigonometry. This technique is used in trigonometry. Now it's just not used for calculating the actual heights and all. There are lots and lots, plenty of applications you will find of trigonometry in your day-to-day life. Okay, so let's study that. What is trigonometry? Okay, so for trigonometry, all you need to remember is 6 basic formulas, or you can say 6 ratios. If you remember these ratios, the whole trigonometry is just like a piece of cake. Okay, you don't have to remember anything extra other than that. Just remember these 6 ratios and stay with me. I'll tell you few tricks how to remember the other things. Okay, so for these 6 ratios, those are known as sine. Okay, wait, let's just first introduce about this triangle. Okay, let's say this is a right angle triangle ABC, in which angle B is 90 degree, correct? Now let's say if I'm talking about side C, right? In this trigonometry we will be using theta a lot. Now what is theta? If you don't know, just as we use variable x for numbers, for unknown angles we use theta. Got it? If a number is unknown, we use x. If an angle is unknown, we use theta. Okay, so we don't know angle C, right? So let's just keep it as theta. Okay, now if I'm talking about angle theta or angle C, for angle C, this is what opposite side, correct? For angle C, side AB is opposite side, correct? And for the same angle C, this side BC is adjacent, right? Because it's just like adjacent to the angle, right? And the third side, obviously this is hypotenuse. You guessed it, right? Why it is hypotenuse? Because it is opposite to the 90 degree angle. Always remember, in right angle triangle, the side opposite to the 90 degree is always hypotenuse. You just have to fix it on these two sides, which is opposite side and which is adjacent side. Hypotenuse is same for everything. Now one more thing you have to notice. Let's check. Let's say that I changed the angle. Now I'm talking about angle A. Okay, I'm talking about A and I'm talking about theta. Now BC becomes opposite sides, correct? Now BC is opposite side and AB is adjacent side, correct, because it is adjacent to angle. And AC, as always, it will be hypotenuse. So always remember, in trigonometry this is most important, that you have to take care that you have to think which angle you are talking about. Okay, depending on the angle, the opposite side and adjacent side will change, and that will create a massive change. The ratios will change, so yeah, you have to take care of that. Okay, so now you know. Now we'll get back to the normal. Yeah, so angle C, this is theta. Okay, and from this theta, for this theta, BC is adjacent side, I'll write it here, adjacent side, and this is opposite side, correct? Right. And this third is hypotenuse. Clear? Now we'll look at the ratios. Now see, the first ratio is sine. Actually it is known as sine, okay, but in short form we write it as sine. Now if I'm writing the sine ratio for angle C, or let's say for sine theta, so for sine theta the ratio, fixed ratio, is opposite side, okay, opposite side upon hypotenuse. Get it? For sine theta, if you are talking about sine theta ratio, it is always opposite side upon hypotenuse. Now the theta is at angle C, so for angle C, which is opposite side? AB. So we'll write AB upon hypotenuse is AC, correct? Now remember this, sine theta is always going to be opposite side upon hypotenuse. Even if we are talking about angle A, then just the opposite side will change, right? For angle A, opposite side is going to be BC. Clear? Good. Then the next ratio you have to remember is cos theta. Okay, now cos is actually cosine, okay, but in short form we use only cos. Now the ratio for cos theta is adjacent side, okay, adjacent side upon hypotenuse, correct? And which is the adjacent side? BC, you got it right. And hypotenuse AC, again common, it's going to be the same, right? Now the third ratio is tan theta. Okay, actually it is tangent, but obviously we use short form and we make it as tan theta. Now what is tan theta? It is opposite side upon hypotenuse. Okay, and that is, what is opposite side? AB. And sorry, for tan theta the ratio is opposite side upon adjacent side. Okay, my bad, I made a mistake. Opposite side upon adjacent side. Okay, what is adjacent side? BC, correct? Right? So for tan theta the ratio is AB upon BC, that is opposite side upon adjacent side. Hope you understood these three ratios. Now if you remember these three ratios, first of all, if you remember only sine and cos, I'll tell you how to remember tan. And if you got first three ratios, then the last three ratios are just, you'll see, just the reciprocal of these three. Okay, giving you a head start. Okay, so now, okay, let's write the next ratios. Okay, after tan there will be cot. Let's talk about cot theta. Cot, can you guess the full form? Okay, it is cotangent. Okay, and what is the ratio for cot? It is adjacent side upon opposite side. Okay, what is adjacent side? It is BC, and opposite side becomes AB. Clear? Now the next ratio is sec theta. Okay, if you know the full form of this, you are good at maths. It is secant theta. Okay, so sec theta is secant actually, and the ratio for sec is adjacent upon, sorry, for secant it is hypotenuse upon adjacent side, hypotenuse upon adjacent side. Okay, and what is hypotenuse? AC. And what is adjacent? Adjacent is BC, correct? Now the last ratio is cosec theta. Okay, fine, hope you guessed it by now. It is cosecant theta, right? See, every time if sine is there, the next will be cosine, right? Sine, then cosine, then tan, then cotan. Cotan becomes cot obviously. Then if secant is there, then the next will be cosecant. Okay, so for that it is hypotenuse upon opposite side, right? Yeah, and this is hypotenuse is AC again, opposite side is AB. Clear? Now these three ratios, now how to remember these three ratios, right? Sorry, now how to remember 6 ratios. So for sine and cos you can memorize them, right? You'll have to memorize them for a while, but after a while you'll used to it, you'll just know what ratios are what. Okay, now the next thing is, see, I'll write the ratios again. What is sine? What is sine? Opposite upon adjacent, opposite upon hypotenuse, correct? Opposite upon hypotenuse. Then next is cos, that is adjacent upon hypotenuse, HYPT I'll write for short form. Tan is opposite upon adjacent. Now the next cot is adjacent upon opposite. After that comes sec, right? So sec is hypotenuse upon adjacent, right? And last is cosec, it is hypotenuse upon opposite side. Okay, now just pause and look at the screen. Can you see any similarity in these ratios? Think about it. If you can see, you can tell me. Okay, so now I'll tell you. See, the ratio of sine is exactly inverse to the ratio of cosec, correct? If sine is opposite upon hypotenuse, the cosec becomes hypotenuse upon opposite, right? Cos is adjacent upon hypotenuse, then sec becomes hypotenuse upon adjacent, right? These are reciprocals of each other. Tan is reciprocal of cot, or cot is reciprocal of tan, right? But what you can see is first three ratios and last three ratios, they are reciprocal of each other, right? So that's why I was telling you, if you remember first two only, now I'll tell you a trick about tan also, but at first if you remember for these three, you'll get to know the remaining three also. Okay, so these ratios are quite important, and that's all you have to play with for class 9th. For class 10th there are some more relations, but as of now just memorize this and you're good to go with trigonometry. Okay, now for tan, so I can write this, right? Sine is equals to 1 by cos sec, correct? Or cos is equals to 1 by sec, or tan is equals to 1 by cot. Clear? So these three ratios, or vice versa, if you want to write it, you can write cosec is equals to 1 by sine and all that, right? Sec is equals to 1 by cos, it goes both the ways. Or cot is equals to 1 by tan. Now the next thing you have to remember is, that is tan. How to remember tan? Okay, so I memorize sine. Sine is opposite upon hypotenuse. Cos is adjacent upon hypotenuse. Now tan is actually sine by cos. Okay, if you look at it properly, the ratio of sine by cos will give you the value of tan. Now let's see. If I write the value of sine, it is opposite upon hypotenuse, correct, upon, big upon cos, adjacent upon hypotenuse, right? Now for that, let's think about thoda sa maths. I don't know if you remember this or not, but just tell me this one thing. What is a upon b upon c upon d? Do you know what will be its solution? You can write it as a upon b into d upon c, correct? So let's try doing that same thing here. Opposite upon hypotenuse into, I'm doing this expanding here by using this formula, it will be hypotenuse upon adjacent side. Okay, hypotenuse both will get cancelled, and what do we get? Opposite upon adjacent. Got it? So in the end we got the tan for opposite upon adjacent too. Clear? Hope you are understanding this. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, fine. So you got it now, how to remember tan and all the other three ratios, right? So for sine it is opposite upon hypotenuse, right? For cos it's adjacent upon hypotenuse. For tan it's sine upon cos, or you can remember it as opposite upon adjacent also. Then tan is reciprocal of cot, right? Cos will be sec is reciprocal of cos, and cosec is reciprocal of sine. Fine. Now how to remember which ratio is reciprocal of which? Because for at first these names seem a lot of same, confusing and all these things, right? When you are listening it for the first time, trust me, it will be confusing a lot. So one easy trick. The reciprocal of the letter starting with S will be C, right? If the initial letter is C, its reciprocal will have S. Okay, getting it? S का उल्टा होगा C, C का उल्टा होगा S, if you know Hindi, right? That means C and S are related, right, in both the ways. Okay, sine reciprocal is cosec, cos reciprocal sec. Clear? Got it? Good. So these are basic trigonometric ratios. Now we'll look at some problems of trigonometry, how the questions can be asked. Someone can ask you, okay, let's draw a triangle. Okay, let's say this is triangle ABC. You know that AB is 3, BC is 4. AC they haven't given it to you, and they asked you find all the ratios for angle C. Okay, so they have asked to find out all the ratios for angle C, right? Now we know if we have to find out sine theta, what we'll need? Opposite side upon hypotenuse. But the problem is we don't know hypotenuse. So can you tell me what we'll do to find the hypotenuse? Correct, it's Pythagoras theorem. We'll use Pythagoras theorem, and for Pythagoras theorem what we need? Two other sides other than the hypotenuse, right? Obviously, except hypotenuse, the square of other two sides. So square of 3. Okay, I'll write it proper. Using Pythagoras theorem, what do we get? AB square plus BC square is equals to AC square. Now AB square is what? 3 square plus BC square is 4 square, and AC square that we don't know, right? So 3, what is 3 square? 9 plus 4 square is 16, and AC square we don't know, so AC square we get as 25, and if we take reciprocal on both the sides, what we'll get? We'll get the value of AC, that is 5. Correct? So the value of AC is 5. Right? Now we got the Pythagoras theorem. By using Pythagoras theorem we got the hypotenuse. Now all we have to do is just use the trigonometric ratios. Now I want you to recite them one by one. Say first one is sin theta. Correct. Second one is cos theta. Correct. Third is tan theta. Perfect. After that cot, which is reciprocal of tan, then reciprocal of cos is, it is C, so it should be starting with S, that is sec theta. Perfect. See, you're getting it. S, that means its reciprocal will start with C, that will give me cosec theta. Got it? Now let at first start with opposite upon hypotenuse. Then the second is adjacent upon hypotenuse. Then tan is opposite upon adjacent. And cot will be, what is cot? Reciprocal means adjacent upon opposite. Then sec is hypotenuse upon adjacent. Right? And the last, hypotenuse upon opposite sides. Right? Now what is opposite side in for angle C? It is AB. Correct. Upon hypotenuse is AC. The length of AB is 3 and AC is 5. Correct. Now the next is adjacent upon hypotenuse. So adjacent is, okay, I am giving this space for you to write down the ratios. Okay, I'll just write the values, and it is 4 by 5. Correct. Now what is for tan theta? What is opposite upon adjacent? Opposite is 3 and adjacent is 4. Correct. Okay, fine, I'll do this for you also, but for the, promise me for on the next questions you will do it on your own. Okay, so what is adjacent? Adjacent is BC and hypotenuse is AC. Right. Again for tan, opposite is always going to be AB upon AC. Fine. Then AC upon AB, as it is adjacent upon opposite, and the ratio will be 4 by 3. For sec, the ratio will be ulta of cos. That if that is BC upon AC, then this will be AC upon BC. Correct. And it will be 5 by 4. Right. So the last one is hypotenuse upon opposite side, that is AC upon AB, as it is reciprocal of sine, and the values will be 5 upon 3. Got it? Clear? Good. Okay, I'll erase this now. Okay, now let's look at the other type of question. What if the question comes like sin theta? Okay, if you know sin theta. Okay, we don't know that, right? But now if we know opposite side and hypotenuse, we can find out the adjacent side by using the same method. Correct. Let's just draw a triangle. Again, PQR. Okay. Opposite side, let's just say this has 4m, this has 5m. Correct. Now we don't know QR, so how to find QR? Obviously Pythagoras triangle, using Pythagoras, PQ square plus QR square is equals to PR square. We know PQ, that is 4m square plus QR square. That too we don't know, that's what we have to find out, right? And PR square, that is 5m square. So what do we get? 16m square plus QR square is equals to 25m square. Okay, now square minus 16m square. Okay, so okay, so QR is equals to 9m square, right? And QR will give you the value of 3m, correct? So now we got the third side, and the remaining part is you have to find out all the ratios, right? So now you got three sides, you know all these things, you just have to use them to find out the ratio. Okay, see, there's a question in the comment box. How do you know which is the hypotenuse? I guess I answered it at the start only. Whichever side is opposite to the right angle, okay, whichever the side is opposite to the right angle is always the hypotenuse. Okay, the confusion may arise, but always remember, whichever the side is opposite to the right angle is always the hypotenuse. The confusion can be with these two sides only. See, if this is a triangle, if this is forming the right angle, then except these two sides which are forming right angle, the remaining side is the hypotenuse. Hope you got it clear. So yeah, so now we got the third side as well, that was 3m, correct? That is adjacent side, that is 3m, correct? So now let's start. Sine, that we already know, so we have to find out cos. What is cos theta? Cos is adjacent upon hypotenuse. Now for a while you will feel bored that why I am writing the ratios again and again, but remember, until you have known these ratios for a very long time, use them as much as possible, and that's how it will be easy for you to memorize. Okay, so yeah, now adjacent is 3m and hypotenuse is 5m, correct? The next is tan theta. Tan theta is opposite upon adjacent, correct? Oh, wait a second. See, now here we got 3m upon 5m. I can cancel this m out. So all the ratio I'll get is just 3 by 5, right? So now for tan, opposite is 4m and adjacent is 3m, right? So mm cancel and we'll get 4 upon 3. Okay, the next is cot theta. Okay, cot is adjacent upon opposite. Okay, so it's reciprocal of tan, so I can directly write 3 by 4, right? Reciprocal of this. Then the next is, what is the next? The next will be reciprocal of cos. So cos is c, so the opposite will be sec, correct? So for sec theta, the ratio will be 5 by 3. And what is it? It is hypotenuse upon adjacent, correct? And the last is cosec, which is reciprocal of sine, that will make it hypotenuse upon opposite, and that is 5 by 4. Clear? Hope you got it. So this is all is basic trigonometry. So the questions will be based on this, and yeah, so these are all the basic questions. Now I guess in the next lecture we'll study how to memorize the trigonometric table. Okay, that will be an important class. I guess you should watch it. Okay, so hope you understood all these things, and we'll see in the next video, in the next live session next week. So keep watching Robopreneur till then. If you need to have a demo classes with me, contact us. Bye.